and political commentator. He served as communication advisor in the government of Andhra Pradesh from July 2014 to June 2018. And for several years, he has presented current affairs discussion programs on Telugu television channels. He's also the author of the book, The Crooked Timber of New India, essays on on a republic in crisis. And I welcome him to Kehte Sunte in Sydney. And we are facing another crisis in India. Dr. Prabhakar, how are you doing?
Very well. Thank you very much, Manbir, for having me once again. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
no.
It's a pleasure talking to you.
And as I was saying, that I see you here, there. You're writing in newspapers. You are constantly attending, television interviews. You're doing webinars. You're going and doing talks. And obviously, there is something about democracy that rattles all of us, especially when we see it in the present condition that it is. Do you really think democracy is under threat in India, or is it just because we have a different political opinion?
I think that's a very valid question, Manbir. You see, it's like this. I'm not raising these concerns because there is somebody in a political platform or a political party in office whom I do not like. It is nothing to do with it. The point is this. The point is, I do not want anybody to get elected on the basis of a compromised electoral integrity. Now, not that I don't have a political preference. I do have a political preference. But, even if a political party or a leader of my preference gets elected and sits in office on the basis of the compromised electoral process, I would still oppose that. Please note this. And the reason why we want a proper electoral process with integrity is that if you don't like the outcome, you work amongst the people, change their mind, and hope to win next time. But if the election process itself is compromised, as it is happening now in India, then the situation becomes so difficult. Where is democracy? We have reached a stage in our democratic journey where earlier voters used to elect the governments. Now it is the government which is electing and selecting the voters. Manbir, please understand, we'll go into the 2014 elections and, before that, we'll go into that. But just look at the latest special intensive review of electoral rolls in Bihar.
In Bihar, nearly 1 crore people have been deleted from there.
The earlier thing was, 65 lakh people were deleted. And the Election Commission continuously refused to divulge the names of the people who were deleted and the reasons for their deletion. When the Supreme Court, for some reason, Supreme Court went on, and finally the Election Commission had to give in and publish the details. But I'll just take a step back. The Election Commission doesn't communicate with anybody. You file any number of RTIs, you don't get a response. You try to see them, you won't get even a small entry pass to get into the gate. Even respected, long-standing civil society organizations also do not get. Political parties, once in a while they get something. Anyway, it is completely incommunicado. And they have devised a novel way of communicating with the media by saying that they leak something and the media are supposed to write that just citing sources in the Election Commission. So It is not an official communication. Now, those sources used to continuously say that 65 lakh, a lot of people were deleted because they were ghuspetti.
घुसपैठिया, या।
किया है, इसलिए उनको निकाल दिया गया है। बहुत सारे डुप्लीकेट वोटर्स थे, इसलिए उनको डिलीट कर दिया गया है। बहुत सारे वोटर्स अभी नहीं है, उनका मृत्यु हो गया है,
हम्म
एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा, यूज्ड टू गिव
हम्म
अ लॉट ऑफ। नाउ when the Supreme Court had forced the Election Commission to announce the list, मनबीर जी, आप मुझे एक नाम दिखाइए जिसके अगेंस्ट में ये घुसपैठी, ये फॉरेन नेशनल लिखा हुआ है। नॉट ए
आई वाज
सिंगल।
आई वाज वाचिंग दैट कि एंड जो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस हुआ उसमें ही वाज आस्क्ड, मिस्टर गणेश, द चीफ इलेक्शन
गणेश
कमिश्नर,
कुमार।
गणेश कुमार, कि भाई व्हाट अबाउट दीज घुसपैठिया जिसकी आप बात कर रहे थे, एंड देयर ही केप्ट क्वाइट, ही डिडंट हैव एन आंसर टू दैट, while the whole
यस,
pretext
यस,
was कि ये घुसपैठिया है, इनको निकालना है।
नॉट ए सिंगल पर्सन। सो विच मीन्स that there's something else which is going on there. Now, today the election schedule is announced, and they've announced the final list of voters after the revision and all that kind of thing. Now, there is some preliminary analysis done by Yogendra Yadavji and his team, and the gist of that is 5.3 lakh duplicate names.
Mm.
Wow.
Yes.
24,000 names just can't make out A, B, C, D, E, F, G, gibberish kind of a thing.
Mm.
33% of the finally deleted names were of the Muslims.
Mm. Yeah.
And, a lot of women were deleted. And the Hindu has gone through the list earlier and said, the death, those people who were supposed to have died, they were all in their 30s, 40s,
Mm.
which is against the trend of,
That's right.
the demographic profile.
So between the last state election and now, the number of eligible voters has gone down, I believe.
Gone down. Yes.
So this is a
And
new thing that has happened, despite India's burgeoning population.
And you see, another important thing is normally we have a rough idea of how many are the adult population in a particular area, over and above, 18 and above. And they are the ones who are qualified to be the electorate. Now, usually it is more or less the same, or a little here and there. But here, this is almost about 15% to 20% less than the adult population, which means that you have taken out, the election commission has
Mm.
taken out about 15% of the people who are eligible to be the voters, which
Mm.
means that they have disenfranchised huge number of people. 1%, Manbir ji, you know very well,
Yeah.
ये इतना फर्क पड़ सकते हैं इलेक्शन रिजल्ट में, नतीजे में।
Yeah. Sorry,
इतनी
just let me play devil's advocate. Now, अगर numbers drop हुए हैं बिहार में, say supposing the number of eligible voters has gone down, it is possible that earlier the voter list was inflated, and now we have come to a real voter list. So, जो पहले inflated numbers थे, I'm just being playing the devil's advocate, and
I
I'd like you to
understand.
answer that.
No, no, that's a very valid, skeptics statement. Let me take on that. If the electoral list that is put out by the election commission does not have duplicate names, I can understand. As I just told you the data, there are 5.3 lakh duplicate names.
Mm-hmm.
So if you say that the inflated things have come down, it's not.
Mm.
The duplication is 5.3 crore votes, and 24,000 are gibberish names.
Mm.
KL, MQP, and things like that.
Mm. And 100 people
Others,
staying at the same address.
yeah. So how does these two things square? That they were inflated before, and it is brought down to the actual number. That doesn't. The other thing is, if your state elect, if your state population's demographic profile is say 100 adult 18 and above, but your voters list has only 85, does it mean that it is deflated to the right number, or it is even uh, कटौती हो गया इसमें?
But also migrant labor. How does that count? Because Bihar obviously has a lot of migrant laborers. So look, I'm trying to delve into this. So
Right.
so there's a lot of difficulty in counting that because they're going to Punjab. Punjab में भी उनका vote है या and of course like you said duplicate votes हैं. And Rahul Gandhi did prove that people had voted 4 times or 5 times. So, is there any truth to that, or is it something that is being used? That just because we are in opposition, we think like that.
You see, thing is this: if there is a migrant labor, when the election commission goes there, that person is not there. Okay, that is when migrant labor has gone to work somewhere. All right. Does that mean that they have permanently shifted the residence, or it's a migrant labor who would come back?
Yeah, they
Number
should.
one.
Yeah.
Number two, whenever you delete a voter from the list, you have to give a notice to that voter, which means if in my household there are two people who are migrant labor who went out. If my household receives a notice that these people were not found, we plan to delete, then I'll say, look, my brother, and he would contact the election commission and say, look, I'll come back. I'll come
That's
back
right.
in a month. After the season is over, I'll be back. So don't delete. But then here, contrary to the election commission's rules and regulations of enrollment of electorate or deletion of electorate, for deletion you need to serve a notice. Without serving notice, these are being deleted. And who are these people whose names were entered twice or thrice? They're almost 5.3 lakh.
Mm, mm,
And who are these people with 24,000 gibberish names?
mm. Yep.
So your argument, or your devil's argument, that it has now come to the realistic figure,
Mm.
does not really
Hold water. Yeah.
uh, hold water.
Yeah. So Rahul Gandhi, and I'm coming to Rahul Gandhi. So of course Rahul Gandhi has a vested interest, and he made that presentation about this constituency in Bangalore. I think that was his first exposure. And before that, I remember last year, Arvind Kejriwal had done a similar exposure where multiple people, 50, 60, 80 people are living at the same address, which is sort of quite crazy. But the criticism against Rahul Gandhi is that he is saying that this happened in Bangalore, and 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 that's where the Congress won in that state. So is he saying that he won based on faked voters? That is one criticism. What do you think? Because he started this ball rolling, didn't he?
You see, that's some kind of a very easy criticism that was mounted by the BJP and those people who are supporting that kind of an argument. But you see, Rahul Gandhi was talking about the election of the Lok Sabha of that constituency,
Hmm.
where BJP had won. He was not talking about the Karnataka Assembly elections.
Okay.
Karnataka Assembly was won by the Congress, but not
Lok
the
Sabha.
Bangalore
Hmm.
constituency, mind you. That's one. The second thing is, when you see, you talked about Rahul Gandhi having a vested interest.
Of course.
Well, you see, I spoke to you about this kind of irregularities in voting, irregularities in polling, irregularities in counting, irregularities in numbers, irregularities in announcement of results. All that way back when, immediately after the elections, we spoke. What vested interest do I have? Am
Hmm.
I going to be a minister, an MLA, or an MP, or a chief minister? I'm not going to be.
No.
In fact, Manbir, I must tell you this. What surprises me is that those people who have everything at stake, their political fortunes, their
Mm.
party's fortunes, they are not serious enough about this issue, is my complaint.
Wow. Okay. So you're taking the opposite side and saying that they need to make more noise.
What did you do for 1 year?
Mm.
Of course, you see, the point is Rahul Gandhi's exercise was a huge exercise, and he said so much that because the election commission has not given a machine readable format of electoral rolls, it
Yes.
became so difficult for us to see. We had to spend a team of about 30, 40 people had to spend about 6 months, and we had to literally physically go one by one, and he displayed about 7 foot 7 feet tall documentation and all that. Yeah, that is a very but my argument, along with my colleagues and people who have really gone into this, is that the entire thing has been hiding in plain sight.
Hmm.
What is hiding in plain sight is this: that you have, at the end of the polling on that day, you had announced this was the polling percentage. Now, before midnight, this is the provisional figure. The final figure is announced, say, much later.
Yes.
And the difference between the provisional figure and the final figure is abnormally high.
Yeah.
Historically, there has never been a discrepancy of more than 1%. 1% was the highest.
And there was a
Usually,
surge. There was a surge, they say, after 5 o'clock or something.
no, usually,
Mm.
historically,
Mm.
from 1952 onwards till recently, till New India has come about.
Yeah, yeah. The
You
freedom after India attained freedom in 2014.
2014,
Yes.
it has never been, the discrepancy has never been more than 1%. In fact, it is the mean figure has always been zero point 0.3 or maximum zero point 0.5, half a percent.
Hmm.
Now, what explains a massive surge of 12%, 15%, 20%, 30%? What explains that?
Mm, that's yeah.
You know, the, and you see, forget about everything else. Let the election commission come out and say that, this is the reason why there was a surge. And मनबीर जी, आप ये ख्याल रखिए कि इलेक्शन कमीशन का इलेक्शन मैन्युअल जो है ना,
Mm-hmm.
इसमें ये स्पष्ट रूप से बताया गया कि पोलिंग ऑफिशियल एंडिंग के बाद अगर कोई कंपाउंड में रहे, तो उनका ये अधिकार बनता है कि वो
Vote.
वोटिंग करें।
Correct.
लेकिन लेकिन गेट क्लोज करना पड़ेगा,
Mm-hmm.
और उसके बाद वो जो क्यू में रख रहे हैं, उसके बाद
Mm-hmm.
उनको, लास्ट आदमी को, लास्ट औरत को, लास्ट वोटर को एक नंबर स्लिप देंगे, और somebody who's at the head of the queue will be given the last number,
Okay.
and so that nobody enters the queue after the cutoff time,
Okay. So that's the policy. Yeah.
and all those people are eligible for voting, and when they come and vote, those slips are collected and they have to be preserved.
Mm. Okay.
Another thing is that all those people who have voted after the official closing time of the polling,
Mm-hmm.
they will have to be videographed and videographed in such a way that they should be recognizable.
Okay.
And that also has to be preserved.
Mm.
But tomorrow, if I say that, look, there is no search, then they can say, look, these are the people who have brought these slips, and this is the video footage.
Yes.
Now, somebody called Mr. Mahmood Pracha, had gone to the Punjab and Haryana High Court about the Haryana election results, because again, there was a surge there,
Yeah.
assembly election, and asked for a court direction that the election commission should display those records.
Mm.
You know what happened? Manbir ji, तुरंत, with alacrity.
Hmm.
इलेक्शन कमीशन और केंद्र सरकार दोनों एक एक्स्ट्रॉर्डिनरी गेजेट नोटिफिकेशन लाया,
Hmm.
denying the access to people of the records.
Hmm.
Why?
Hmm.
Why? No, if you say that there was a genuine search, I'm prepared to believe it.
Yes.
I mean, normally, historically, there was no search or no discrepancy of more than, say, 1%. But even now, like a devil's advocate, I am being devil advocate now. Okay, let's say, but give us proof.
Correct.
Why are you hiding the proof? The point is
Because
this: why are you hiding
because
the proof?
because बहू बेटियों की शक्लें नहीं दिखानी ना उसने.
Oh, that's again. I should. It's good that you mentioned it. देखिए ज्ञानेश कुमार जी ने ऐसा बोला था कि उनका 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 पब्लिक करना चाहिए क्या,
Hmm.
something like that.
Hmm.
But now I challenge.
Hmm.
After every phase of polling anywhere in the country, Lok Sabha, by-elections, Vidhan Sabha, here, there, everywhere, after every phase of the polling, just go to the Election Commission's website. They put out a press release
Hmm.
saying that by this time, this much polling has taken place. And in those press notes, they publish at least 20 photographs of voters standing in the queue or, with a smile displaying the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And 95% of those photographs are of the women.
Yeah. They are not anybody's bahu beti.
देखिए,
They must have asked
who,
them, "Are you somebody's bahu beti?" If they say no, then they publish it maybe.
and माताओं,
Uh,
बहनों,
they are not
बेटी,
mataon. They are not bahus. Not, no, neither are they betis. So, do you think this is vote chori, or do you think this is vote dakaiti or vote loot, or as you have said, it's an being carried out on an industrial scale?
well, I mean, you see, yeah, in my limited vocabulary, I used, in fact, it was Mr. M.K. Venu of the Wire who said
Mm,
it's going on a in industrial scale, and I would say that this whole thing is being looted, and it's a huge dacoity. But I'm
mm,
still open. मनवीर जी, आपके पास अगर और अच्छा लफ्ज हो
mm.
to describe this. Give me, I'll start using that. The point, the
If I
point,
say it's vote purloining, it makes it sound very, or vote swindling. That sounds very
yeah,
nice and polite, I think. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and it doesn't convey
The
the
seriousness and the level. Yeah.
malfeasance and malfeasance, and it doesn't convey the evil behind.
Yes. Yeah. And
Uh, what worries me is this. What worries me is that a lot of people are under the impression that if you have another 5 minutes, I would like to bring
please.
in another element to it. That is this. Why I was thinking, I was talking about, I was talking to some political party leaders. You have everything at stake. Why are you quiet about it?
Mm, mm.
We have nothing. We are shouting.
Yeah.
Then some of these functionaries said, "Okay, Parkala, point is this. See, we are winning some elections, isn't it?
Mm,
So when we win, say Telangana, when we win Karnataka, when we win Himachal Pradesh, when we win Jharkhand,
mm.
they say, look, if you win, it's okay, is it? If you lose, then there's vote chori.
That's hypocritical, I think.
And we have no answer for this. Well, I said, look, I have an answer for that. Manbir, you are familiar with this casino.
Yes.
You go to a casino, you play, you win, and next game you lose.
Mm,
2 games you might win. After 3 games you lose.
mm.
If you lose every game that you play, you will not go back tomorrow.
Correct.
But if you win some and if you lose some, again win some, again lose some, then the hope that you might win is kept alive.
Yeah.
That is the principle on which a casino operates.
Correct. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is the casino which wins and not you and me.
Correct. That's a very good analogy, I think. And
And
yeah. Sorry, go
that
on.
is exactly what is happening now. Okay, you take Telangana, you take Jharkhand, but Maharashtra, no, because we have a huge
Hmm.
uh, uh, development coming there, and it's a financial capital, Dharavi development, all this.
Hmm.
And Haryana, we won't give you because that is the state which stops the farmers from storming Delhi.
Yeah.
You take those little ones, Jharkhand you take, Himachal you take, they don't matter. And
That's
you take these little things, but Lok Sabha we want.
hmm.
Now,
Hmm.
if political parties miss this small casino syndrome logic, then how do I explain this whole thing? What is the deliverance from this?
So is that why you said, and which is pretty radical, that the MPs should resign? You said they should quit parliament. That's very radical because I know that if they resign, they won't be able to get back in. Because obviously, if the system is rigged, I think that will serve the government, sorry, the ruling party, not the government. It'll serve the ruling party more than anybody else. That's a very radical suggestion you have, Dr. Saab.
Yeah. Because I made that radical suggestion, Manbirji, it is my responsibility to defend it
Hmm.
and to give you the logic behind my assertion. You see, it's like this. We have been saying about the discrepancy between polled votes and declared votes and all that, and there were, and you see, the first phase of Lok Sabha, Manbir ji, हम पिछले बार भी बात किए थे इसके बारे
Yeah.
में. First phase of voting, the final figure was released after 11 days.
Mm.
Why? Okay. Now there's so many, and I've written very extensively. You know all that.
Yes.
The point, that is what people like us say from the civil society. And the leader of the opposition had demonstrated in terms of by showing the example of Mahadevpura Assembly constituency in central Bangalore Lok Sabha constituency.
Yes.
And immediately after that, in a short while, in about a couple of days' time, one of the ruling party members of parliament or former minister or current minister, somebody, that Golimar kind of a
Mm.
person, uh,
Anurag
he
Thakur, huh? Yeah.
he dug out the voters list of Raebareli, Amethi, Wayanad
Mm.
here and there, represented by these people, and said there are also irregularities in this voters list.
Mm. Yes.
Well, the thing that the takeaway from me from these two press conferences is this: that both the ruling party as well as the opposition are in agreement that there are defects in the voters list.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
So there is a across the aisle consensus about this. If that is the case, my argument is this: if the voters list is defective, the house that is elected on the basis of a defective voters list
Hmm.
does not have legitimacy.
Correct. Yeah.
One. And the government, which is a creature of that house, because it comes from that house, isn't
Absolutely.
it?
Yeah.
The government, which is a creature of that house, also lacks legitimacy
Mm.
by law, by extension.
Correct.
And the election commission, which has presided over this kind of a defective voters list and this kind of a defective poll process, does not have legitimacy.
Mm. Mm.
So the election commission should go, the Lok Sabha should go, and the government should go. Okay.
Mm.
Now, I'll take on your assertion that
Mhm.
then it probably the ruling party will be very happy.
Yeah,
They have
they'll
no
celebrate.
opposition.
Yeah.
Yeah, Manbirji, tell me this:
Hmm.
what is the opposition's role in the Lok Sabha today for the last several years? Have they been able to force the government to have a discussion, a meaningful discussion on Manipur?
No,
Have they been able to force the government to have a meaningful discussion on Article 370?
no,
Have they been able to force the government to have a meaningful discussion on the farm laws?
no,
Have they been able to force the government to have a proper discussion on Operation Sindoor?
no, not even
Have
Ladakh
you
now.
been able to force the government to have a proper discussion on uh, the 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 new acts that were brought in to restrict the social media and other things?
No. So they've been quite ineffective.
No, no, see, they were rendered ineffective.
Yeah, yeah, because of the numbers. Yes.
No, not only see, numbers छोड़ दीजिए आप.
Okay.
एक भी है आप खड़ा होकर देखिए. नेहरू जी, नेहरू when Nehru was the prime minister of India, what was BJ, Bharatiya Janasangh? It was nothing. It was a small thing. But
Hmm.
when Vajpayee ji stood up and said, in the midst of the war with China,
Yeah,
when the war was going on, when he said that there should be a discussion, Nehru had a discussion,
yeah, yeah.
not because of the numbers. It's the democratic spirit. Manbirji, it's a democratic spirit.
Yeah.
Okay. What purpose are you serving by sitting there? Are you really, is the government really constrained by your presence?
Mm, no.
So, for the government, your presence or your absence doesn't make it any difference.
They are bulldozing things. Sorry, we've just got 2 minutes before this ends. So, in your opinion, just in 2 minutes, is the Chief Election Commission commissioner, is that an extension of the BJP? And what can be done? 2 minutes.
I've Yeah, I feel that BJP has several frontal organizations called Mahila Morcha, Kisan Morcha, Yuva Morcha, Minority Morcha, this Morcha and that Morcha. For fighting elections, they have one election Morcha, and that is the Election Commission of India.
So that's an extension, you think? And they've changed the law that there can't be any legal action against the Chief Election Commissioner. Is that
You
right?
can't prosecute them, you cannot punish them, you cannot even haul them to the court.
Wow. So, but you can, in that big display, it said that you can bring the prime minister to the court, but you can't bring, which is quite amazing. Look, I would love to have, another few hours of discussion, but I think we have only time for this much. I thank you very much, Dr. Parakala Prabhakarji. And, you are such a, I think you're an activist, but you're a journalist, you're an economist. I don't know how many hats you wear. But during wearing of those hats, you've still managed to take out some time for us. And I really, really appreciate your time for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And
Thank
I'll
you.
look forward to talking to you in future also.